Now we got a few minutes here, and I want to talk about Big Beautiful Bill, how it relates to cars. I want to talk about a few other things. Of course, I mentioned that Brett Dickey interview that I've got coming up, and I know, yes, I didn't play it last time. I will play it this time. I know. I am fantastic at managing my time on the show. I say with sarcasm, but one of the things I want to mention really quick is an update on my purchasing of a Subaru, which it was interesting. You know, when I bought my 2024 WRX, I actually looked at the analytics of my podcast, how many people are listening, and I can chart it online, at least for the online listeners. And it was interesting. The views and the listens were doing this. They were trending upwards. And then I announced that I bought a Subaru, and they went down immediately. And in fact, they went negative. How does it even go negative? How do you negative watch something? Anyway, that's what happened when I bought a Subaru. I think people were a little heartbroken that I would cave to the vape guys and the head gasket guys and the ringland failure guys, but I did. And it's because I actually already owned a Subaru before that, and I just forgot. I do own a 2007 Hawkeye WRX, which I bought mostly blown up, and then I helped it along the rest of the way. I don't know if I really contributed to it exploding, or if the previous owner did, or just the fact that it was a Subaru and it just self-deleted. I don't know. But these things do happen with Subarus. So I'm sitting here, and after a while, I forget that I own this 2007, and instead of fixing it, I go, man, I really I want something all-wheel drive. I want something with a flat four and a turbo, and my options are limited. I'm going to go out and buy a 2024 WRX. And then I bought it and then remembered, oh yeah, I own a 2007, and I probably should have just fixed that one instead. But the thing with my 2024 that's been fascinating, I've talked about various things on it that I don't like the touchscreen. We will dive into that discussion again later on the show as well. But one of the things that I discovered was mods. Yes, mods. You might be going, oh my God, he's discovered mods for Subarus. This is going to be bad. But oh man, and maybe it will be bad. Maybe it will, and we will. I think we'll discuss a little more about that. But I was flabbergasted. Is that the right word to say? At how many mods are actually available for this car? And you got to realize, I'm coming from working on old AE86s where I either have to buy a whole nother parts car that's wrecked to get parts I need, import parts from Japan, or try to bribe Jim Miller for the parts that he has and that he won't sell me. And it's hard. And then my S2000, every time I go to the dealer for something, oh, sorry, that's discontinued. And the aftermarket has some stuff, but not in the way Subarus do. So we're going to discuss that and more, and the Big Beautiful Bill. That's all coming up right here. After the break, you are listening to the Automotive ADHD show all across Southern Colorado and online. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here after the break.
Is the American Motors Spirit worth $5 more than Chevette?
Let's compare. Chevette would have to be a lot wider to give you the same front seat comfort as Spirit. Spirit's 21-gallon gas tank is bigger, too. Think about that this weekend. And Spirit has Z-Bart factory rust protection, plus the only 5-year no rust-through warranty. American Motors Spirit. It lists for $5 more than Chevette, but it's worth it.
American Motors, built for today, built to last for tomorrow.
This is Automotive ADHD with Matt West.
Yes, it is. Hey, send your car sounds into my show, facebook.com/Automotive ADHD for a chance to be featured right here on the show. Now, I was talking before the break about Subarus. Yes, it's specifically the one that I purchased. And what I found interesting about this, okay, because I bought a 2024 WRX because I owned a 2007 WRX that I forgot that I owned. So then I was like, I want a Subaru, and then I bought a 2024, and then again I realized, oh wait, I already own a Subaru. I probably should have fixed that one instead. But anyway, these things happen, right? This happens to everybody, obviously, right? Anyway, so what I found fascinating about the aftermarket realm of this car was interesting because my background is coming from the A86, which I have to do all sorts of crazy stuff to get parts for. The S2000, way harder to get parts for. An okay aftermarket's available for it, but it is tough. And what is fascinating to me about the Subaru, now that I'm exploring the realm of modding it, and I will say modding it with a little asterisk next to it, because I'm going to be responsible. Yes, I'm looking at the camera with a straight face and saying that I will be responsible. You can hold me accountable to it here on the show. But the reason for it is because I bought this car with a warranty. It's a certified pre-owned with 700 miles on it. I get the standard CPO warranty, and which is a drivetrain warranty on the drivetrain. And I also have an extended, I went out of my way and purchased an extended bumper-to-bumper 7-year warranty, which I did that because, well, it's a Subaru, and it probably will need that. Hopefully it doesn't, but it is a Subaru, and we know there's a reputation with these cars, especially in the car scene. So no, I'm not going to touch anything power-wise. Not even going to do it. No stage 1, 2, 3, 69, nice tunes. No, it's not happening. Not happening. I'm not going to do it. Mark my words, I'm not going to do it. But, and the reason is because, again, that car, it's a daily driver. It needs to be reliable while this other stuff I have is broken. But I was curious about, all right, well, hey, maybe I want some rain guards for the car that go on the passenger, or the side windows, I should say. And I started looking, looking up, who makes a good rain guard? OEM. Subaru makes a rain guard. Okay, cool. And then I was looking at other stuff. Oh, Subaru, I wanted to put a little duckbill spoiler on the trunk, so it looks like the premium trim version of the car. Mine's a base model. They have the same drivetrain, by the way. So there's really no up-badging happening here, because the drivetrain from the base model all the way to the top trim is identical, with the exception of the brakes and maybe some shock valving and stuff on the higher trim version. But with that, I said, I want the little duckbill spoiler. Who makes that? Oh, Subaru does one of those. OEM. Okay. What about the Alcantara inserts that the premium one gets that go in the interior? Oh, you could just buy those too. And not even from the dealer, from third-party resellers of genuine OEM parts with reasonable prices. That's the kicker, right? I go to the Honda dealer, ask for a part for my S2000, and either they tell me to go away because the part's been discontinued, or they want a legitimate arm and a leg and then some for that part. And seeing as how I like all my arms and legs, and I don't maybe need that part that badly, I typically go elsewhere and look for that part. And that's what surprised me, right? And you might be saying, and in fact, probably most of the world is saying, oh my God, Matt, we all know this. We all have these cars. I know this is new to me, though, because I've only owned cars that have a terrible aftermarket support, frankly. And it's surprising to me. It's almost refreshing in a weird way that these cars have support for this. And what that brings me to, and you can buy, and there's obviously a huge catalog of actual aftermarket stuff, not just post-sale OEM stuff. That doesn't really count as aftermarket, but legitimate aftermarket stuff. And some very cringy, some very, very stereotypical Subaru owner. You've got an owner, you've got a person in mind you're already thinking of when I say that. Maybe you are that person. And you're saying, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, there's a lot of that stuff, but it really just surprised me how configurable, how kind of like Legos this platform is, whether that's old WRXs all the way up to the newest generation of that WRX. So one of the things I'm really curious, though, is to have you sound off and let me know what you think, especially if you've bought a newer car. What has the modability been like? What has perhaps the aftermarket or even the OEM support for add-ons, which, again, has very much surprised me with Subaru. And, I'm not here to come in and say I know it all. I'm kind of here to be the messenger and tell you what I'm discovering. But let me know your thoughts on the Facebook page, on YouTube. Comment on the video of this after the fact. And let me know how the aftermarket support has been for whatever platform it is you have. Has it been good? Is it good like what I'm finding? Has it been terrible? Is it worse than trying to find parts for some of my clunkers? So let me know.